right, welcome back. Democrats are pushing ahead with their effort to pack the U.S. Supreme Court. Here's House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler out in front of the U.S. Supreme Court yesterday.
Some people will say we're packing the court. We're not packing it. We're unpacking it. Senator McConnell and the Republicans packed the court over the last couple of years, as Senator Markey outlined. So this is a reaction to that. It's a necessary step in the evolution of the court.
A necessary step. They're not packing, they're unpacking. Up is down, left is right. What are we supposed to make of this? Let's welcome in now Florida Congressman Byron Donalds to talk a little bit more about this. Congressman, great to see you as always.
Good to see you. Good to be with you.
Only in 2021 is packing the court, unpacking the court, right? You and I both kind of saw this same thing, the side-by-side image of Senator Ed Markey from 5 years ago and then from yesterday, and of course, a complete opposite. Back then he was saying we need nine justices on the U.S. Supreme Court. Of course, yesterday he's saying expand the court. What changed, Congressman?
What changed is that Markey and Gerald Nadler, and then frankly a lot of Democrats, what they want is they want the court to be the same ideological bent that they grew accustomed to for the last 40 years. They don't like the fact that the court actually has a conservative bent to actually follow the Constitution and actually follow the letters of the Constitution, and actually that the words mean what they actually meant when it was passed. They don't want that. They want an ideological court that is going to make decisions based upon the political issues of the day that the Democrats always try to push every single day. And because under Donald Trump's presidency, we had an ability to actually bring the court back to its original bent, meaning that they were actually following the Constitution significantly more than had been in the past. They're upset, so they want to change the rules again. This is what they always seem to do.
Yeah, just like Harry Reid dropped the nuclear option on the federal judiciary all those years ago. And elections have consequences, just not the consequences that Democrats were thinking of when they dropped that famous line. You know, a lot of people said yesterday, too, Congressman, oh, well, Nancy Pelosi says this isn't going to get a floor vote. She's not seriously considering that, so you can all relax. Does that give you any, comfort knowing that Nancy Pelosi is not in favor of this?
No. It doesn't. Listen, this is one of these things that we have to always be vigilant against. The reality is that the Supreme Court's been at 9 for a significantly long time. The last time they tried this maneuver, FDR tried to pack the court because he wanted the court to rule his way on his New Deal policies. And at the time, even Democrats opposed it. But this is something that's always there, and we have to make sure that we are very vigilant on this issue. They systematically want their policies and their politics institutionalized. They thought the Supreme Court was going to give that to them. Now they know that they don't have ultimate power, which is their goal. And so that's why you have this idea of wanting to pack the court.
You know, I'm starting to wonder, considering Democrats blame everything on race nowadays, if they're starting to realize that that is having some diminishing returns, using that same narrative over and over again, because now I see the vice president is going back to blaming the border crisis on climate change. She is quoted in a New York Post editorial board op-ed. I'm quoting this here. There's this need for economic development, a need for resilience around extreme climate because, quote, severe climate experiences have been dampening agriculture in the Northern Triangle nations where most of the border crossers come from. She is doing everything she possibly can to avoid the problem where it actually is, and we're talking about the kids in cages that the administration is now overseeing. She wants to talk about the Northern Triangle and the quote-unquote root causes, but she can't blame their inability to cope with the amount of people coming into this country right now because they signaled that it was wide open. She can't blame that on climate change.
She's going to try to. I mean, it's idiotic, but she's still going to try to. Look, we got two problems happening on the southern border. Number one, we have an administration whose policies are faulty. The drug cartels are making $14 million a day based upon the policies from this administration, and they are exploiting our immigration policy. These kids are being used as pawns in one of the worst ways, whether it's Democrat politics here in the United States or the drug cartels making millions of dollars. Number two, let's talk about the countries in the Northern Triangle. The reason that people are trying to flee those countries is because those governments don't respect individual liberty, they don't respect individual property rights, they don't respect economic freedom, and they don't allow their economies to flourish. You have governments that are corrupt in that region of the world. Let's be very clear. And so when you have corrupt governments where everybody's on the take and you're not respecting individual liberties, people want to flee those types of countries. But we have to protect our southern border. And it wasn't until Joe Biden got rid of the enforcement policies of President Trump that we see such a surge, which is unprecedented. And if she was on the southern border talking to our Border Patrol, they would tell her the same thing.
Congressman Byron Donalds, great to see you as always. Thanks so much.
Good to be with you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.